Yes, sir. Ambassador Plays back in the building. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Not just well, but swell. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Look, y'all, today we're going to get straight into it. The rank reset, Sparking Zero. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, to be formal, to be correct. Look, man, I'm going to be completely honest. This game has been through, I want to say ups and downs, but for the community and people who have been creating content, people who have been, not even necessarily the people who have been creating content, but the people who have been playing the game for recreational activity, aka for fun, as casuals. For them, it's probably felt like this game has been through downs and downs. The ups were maybe the beginning of the game, the initial hype, playing the game, just getting your hands on the product finally after all the trailers. Do y'all remember when this game came out? Actually, do y'all remember before this game came out? I swear this game had 11 million thousand trailers dropped for this game. So many trailers. I mean, after the first two, I was like, okay, now, you know, you you're supposed to talk about the features that are gonna be in the game, what's new, what's hype. You can't just keep dropping trailers. Like, you know, you drop a couple trailers and then you tell us, you get us hyped with the features, and then the game drop. I feel as though this game dropped a million trailers. So they did an amazing, a fantastic, an excellent job at hyping up this game. But then we ran into an issue. We ran into a problem when this game dropped. We ran into an unfinished product. And so initially when the game first dropped, there was so much fun within the game that a lot of the glitches and exploits and bugs, we were lenient, right? We had a lot of lenience when looking at these features because we just had to play the game. We finally got our hands on a Budokai Tenkaichi series product. Now, if you don't know, Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi was initially called Sparking, if I'm not mistaken. Like, that entire series was called the Sparking series. Fact check me on this, look it up, but I believe that to be the case. I'm pretty sure it was initially called Sparking. So Dragon Ball Sparking Zero didn't just come out of nowhere, right? But this is supposed to be the fourth installment of the Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi series. And so we had not had our hands on a Budokai Tenkaichi game since Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Let that sink in. Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi 3. That's the last time we had a series of the Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi origin. And if I'm not mistaken, this game came out, what, 14 years ago? 14 years ago. November 16th of 2004. It is almost July of 2025. Quick math, guys. Quick math. That is 21 years. 21 years. Okay, so there was so much hype. So people allowed a lot of the exploits to go. By the way, I haven't said anything about the gameplay. This is against an actual person. I'm a part of this Discord of Sparking Zero called the Casual Z Domain. And y'all know I'm out of town if y'all seen the video from yesterday. So I don't have my PS5. So I'm playing on my gaming laptop. And so this is just somebody who asked for runs. I said, hey, why not? I need practice anyways. So I hope y'all enjoy this nice gameplay in the background as we talk about this rank reset that's coming either today or tomorrow at the time of this video. In fact, by the time I drop this video, it may have just released. So let's get back to it. Excuse me. So we allowed a lot of these things to pass by, but then something else happened. We realized what was actually going on. Well, what do you mean, AP? What do you mean, Ambassador Plays? What was going on? What was going on was we got an unfinished product. And after the initial hype died down, you started to see something. You started to see a lot of the big content creators fall away. The C-Reacts, the Afro Senju, the Three Idiots, you know what I mean? You start to see a lot of these big creators drop the game. Well, why is that? I could tell you right here and right now. When you're a big creator, you are not bound to play any game that you do not enjoy. Plain and simple. Most of the time, most big successful creators who have a loyal fan base, they have people that are okay with watching them play dang near anything and everything. And so you best believe if you don't enjoy a game, you're not gonna play it. If they don't enjoy a game, they're not gonna play it. Interesting, because we have possibly something that is regarded as the best fighting game series, not even fighting game. Yo, there's so many people that will say one of the Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichis is their favorite game of all time, either 1, 2, or 3. Okay, so how do we have this legendary series, this continuation that's been in the making for X amount of years, double-digit amount of years? How is it not fun? How are these big creators who grew up on these games not uploading it for content? Interested, right? And so as time goes on, we ask Spark and Zero for certain things and they don't give it to us, at least not in a timely fashion. And so as this continues to happen, the community begins to realize something. The community in large begins to realize, oh snap, they just might not care. For real. They just seriously might not care. Why? Well, you take a look at the numbers and let me see if I can pull something up for you guys real fast. We're gonna go Dragon Ball Spark and Zero, right? Sales on release. That's what we're gonna do. I'm typing it in right now on my phone. So Dragon Ball Spark and Zero had a very strong launch, selling over 3 million copies world. I'm laughing even reading this. It makes so much sense, okay? All right, stay with me. So, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero had a very strong launch, selling over 3 million copies worldwide within the first 24 hours of its release in October of 2024. It went on to sell over 5 million copies worldwide. The game was also the fastest selling Dragon Ball console game to date. Do y'all know what that means? That means it's the calendar year 2025. If y'all don't know how we get our calendar system, it's BC and AD, and that's according to Christ. Believe in Christ or not, we shape our entire calendar system to keep track of the years that have happened on this earth off of the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. So after he died, it was the year 0. You feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? And it was the year 1, 2, and so on and so forth. So we are in 2025. From the time Jesus Christ was crucified on that cross to right now, Dragon Ball Spark and Zero is the best-selling Dragon Ball game ever. Okay, on console. So that's what that means if y'all don't know. So they sold 3 million copies within the first 24 hours, and then up until now, they have sold 2 million more copies. Do y'all know what that means? Cha-ching, guap, paper, cheddar, dough, bread. That's money, moolah. Any name you want to call it, that's what they were focused on. And so you have to think about it from this perspective. If I'm making a game, I'm intentionally hyping up the product, and then when it actually drops, I have the most important or the best possible outcome that I could have possibly imagined. It makes stupid bank. The sales are outrageous. Well, what else is my motivation to continue to give the people what they want? You can't take the money from them. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Email? You gonna email Bandai Namco, say, hey man, I pre-ordered this game. I paid about $115, and I just wanted to let you know that I'm thoroughly disappointed. As a man of integrity, men and women of integrity over there at that company, I fully expect you guys to give me a refund. Boy, no. That's not happening. So you already gave them your money. They are already paid. Their pockets are already lined. So ask yourself this: besides actually loving Dragon Ball Z for what it is, for the anime that it is, and Akira Toriyama who created it, what else is their motivation to intentionally pour their heart and soul into this game to make sure that it's the best possible product for their consumers? Ask yourself that question. My answer to that question is nothing, because they already have their money. Here's what y'all have to understand, okay? The love of money is the root of all evil. Not money, but the love of money is the root of all evil. So, like, I don't know. I know that my fan base, my audience is a lot older. Think about your car insurance. Okay, not too bad if you get into an accident, you're insured, you get paid out. Think about dental insurance. How often do you go to the dentist, yet you paying every month for this dental insurance? On top of that, when you go to get a basic cleaning or whatever it is, let's say you get a tooth extracted, sometimes you still have to pay depending on how good your dental insurance is. It's about money. Go talk to the dentist. Go talk to talk to them. Talk to an insider who's been through the schooling. I guarantee you guys, there are ways to get rid of surface level cavities. But you go to the dentist, they're gonna tell you you got some cavities, and then they're gonna give you a receipt that shows you how many cavities you have, and it's gonna have a dollar sign attached by each cavity. They're not gonna tell you that there's a home remedy that you can use to get rid of surface level cavities. What they're gonna tell you is that you need these things called fill-ins, and these fill-ins gonna run you about $100 to $200 a tooth. So don't let you have 3, 4, 5 surface level cavities, but they're not gonna tell you the solution. I guarantee you one thing right now. Every dentist knows that you can fix surface level cavities without getting fill-ins. I promise you. I've done it myself. I'm being serious. And so I only say this to say, like, I don't want to get too far off topic. It's about money. It is about money. And so let's get back into the timeline, right? And so after we realize this, a lot of people start falling away. C-React falls away. Afro Senju. I specifically remember Afro Senju saying, this is not game of the year. This is game of the life. Do you guys comprehend that statement? Did you guys comprehend that statement? So he's saying this is the best game for the rest of the time that you're here on this earth. That's what he was saying. Why he fall away? How come he don't play this so-called game of the life? I can tell you why. Right? And I'm pretty sure you who's watching this video can also tell me why. Okay? And so the community starts to realize, oh snap, we might be in trouble. Not only did we get an unreleased product with unbelievable amounts of glitches and exploits and the tracking issues and all these kind of things, and I'm jumping around here, right? I'm jumping around within, I'm not going to sit here and go over every single patch, but at first the tracking wasn't that bad, but we had all kinds of glitches. And then we had a patch that dang near ruined tracking. The verticality was terrible, and you were whiffing almost every single punch you threw. Okay, and so now we start to have Bandai and Spike Chunsoft, if I'm not mistaken. They're making these patches to fix one thing, and then they completely break another thing. Now, I'm not going to be a conspiracy theorist and say, excuse me, and say that it's on purpose. But they go in, they make a patch, they fix something, and then they break another thing. On top of that, when they patch the game, they are not giving the people what they're actually asking for. Now listen, I understand that as a development company, you do not necessarily revolve around the desires and the wishes and the satisfaction of your consumers, but at the same time, you kinda do. You kinda do, right? Because if it weren't for the consumers, you wouldn't have a product to sell. I'm sorry. If it weren't for the consumers, you wouldn't have a product to sell. If it weren't for the consumers, your pockets wouldn't be lined. So would it not be smart to give us what we're asking for, i.e., character outfits that were in previous Budokai Tenkaichi games but are not in the 4th installment? Does it make sense? Imagine having a Toyota Camry 2021. One of the best features that they had, one of the most highly regarded features that they had, gets removed in the next year of the Toyota Camry 2022. Does that make sense to any of y'all listening to this video? Does that make sense to anybody watching this video? No, it doesn't. Nobody does that. That's backwards. That's backwards. That's called hustling backwards, buddy. You don't have the blueprint for success and then do the opposite. You don't have something that worked in the past and then remove it for no specific reason, especially when people are asking for it. And so what happened is, as these patches kept coming, they would drop things that nobody asked for, such as the legendary face-off mode. Am I mad at it? No. Okay, casuals do need something to play because the story mode, buns, cheeks, garbage, garbanzo. Okay, the story mode is nothing to be hyped about, and rightfully so. This game was not advertised as a story game, right? If you want to do that, go play Dragon Ball Kakarot. So I'm not mad at the legendary face-off mode, but they drop this and they don't give us what we're actually asking for, and so this becomes a reoccurring theme. And then what they do is they patch the game, and they create patch notes about the game, but then they have these shadow patches, issues that they fix that are not even in the patch notes. Why? Okay, and I'm not gonna harp on that one too much because I'm not mad at you. At least you're actually patching the game, whether you put it in the patch notes or not. And so that brings us to this rank reset where we currently stand. The history of this game since it has dropped in October of 2024 has not been good. I'm gonna call it what it is. I love it. I love the game. The history has not been good. So why do I say that this rank reset will either revive or destroy this game? Well, that's because if you take a look at Sparking Zero and the most played mode, it is going to be ranked. Look at the player base that is left on this game. Yo, guys, I hate to break it to you. If anybody doesn't know already, people aren't really playing this game for real. Especially now that I have a laptop, a gaming laptop, I can see what it's like to play on Steam. And so what that means is, obviously, there's more players on PlayStation 5 than there is on PC. PC is the console that has, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the second most active player base. Xbox, I'm sorry, buddy. Throw yourself in the trash. Everybody's forgotten about you. Nobody plays on you. I'm sorry. I know that you're a console and you want to be played. People don't want to play you. So I'm sorry, but if you have an Xbox and you're interested in Dragon Ball Z, give it up. All right, but no, all jokes aside, so what this does, the Steam charts, it gives us a number to go off of to see the popularity of the game, if the game is actually drawing in people or if it's losing people. And so right now I'm going to put a couple screenshots up on the screen so that you guys can see. Look at how this game performs on a month-to-month basis. We are, what, 9 months removed from the initial release of this game? 9 months or so, somewhere in that window. Why is it that every month we have a negative red number on this game? Does that make sense to you? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw up another screenshot, and I'm not looking at it right now, so you guys are going to see it. I'm going to throw up another screenshot of a game called Delta Force 5. This game came out not too long after Sparking Zero came out, if I'm being completely honest with you, and look at its numbers. Are they green? Is there more green or is there more red? How about I throw up another screenshot? It's a little game, you might know it, called Street Fighter 6. Has been out longer than both Delta Force 5 and Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. And look at its numbers. Is it green or is it red? Is there more green or is there more red? So I wanted you guys to see those screenshots to see that I'm not just talking. The game, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So guys, it speaks for itself. So with this rank reset, understanding that ranked is the most popular mode in Sparking Zero, the casuals have put the game down. The people keeping the game alive are the people who play ranked and the content creators. Buddy, that's it. This is why I say ranked has the ability to either revive or destroy Sparking Zero completely. The only two things that I can see happening is this game gets a small influx, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm using that word out of context, I do apologize. But it gives this game, let's just say, a small bump in active player base. I'm gonna count that as a revival, because when you're dead, okay, let me break it to y'all like this. This game is not just dead, it's 25 feet under, right? You hear people say 5 feet under, 10 feet under. No, it's 25 feet under. It might be 50 feet under. Okay, this game is not just in a coffin. They had to dig up to the core of the earth to bury this game. That's how dead it is. That's literally how dead it is, guys. Okay, last statistic that I'm gonna give you guys. So I'm gonna put on the all-time peak player base number, right, for this game on Steam. It's on the screen right now. Okay, now I'm gonna put on the number of people who are currently playing right now. Let's do the math. So according to the math, the peak is around 120,000 active players. And currently, and this is good, because earlier on, sometimes this game didn't even peak at 1,000 viewers, just about a month or so ago. I'm not 1,000 viewers, 1,000 active players. But today we're gonna be generous. We're gonna use the the 24-hour peak. So in the last 24 hours, the highest points of active player base was 1,617. You multiply that by 75 and then you get 121,000. If you multiply it by 74, you get 119,000. So the all-time peak was 120,000, which means that the game had about a 74.5% drop off of the like it's almost unfathomable. Guys, that's not good. That's not good. And so, look, it's and this is how my brain is working. Obviously, you guys are more than welcome. In fact, I encourage you to get at me in the comment section below. Let me know if you agree. Am I being dramatic? Do you think that there is no chance this game could, and mind you guys, when I say revive, hear me, it will never, I mean, Jesus Christ himself is going to have to come back to earth for this game to have 120,000 active player base, right? And even then, it still won't, because when Jesus come back, people going to be focused on Jesus. Okay, so guys, listen, am I excited about it? Yes, absolutely. I want to see this game win. I want to see this game have, at least live up to some kind of projection of the potential that it had, because as of right now, man, this game has flopped tremendously. It's not even close. It's not even close. This game's potential was through the roof. You look at Budokai Tenkaichi 3, how many people love that. I understand we'll never have another Budokai Tenkaichi 3. I understand it's new times and things can't be the same. I understand all these things. None of those things, which I just said that I understand, excuses these people's laziness and their downright negligence to actually give people simple things that they deserve. Guys, if modders who probably aren't even getting paid to come out with the skins and the maps can make these immaculate skins and maps, I wish one of y'all would tell me that the people who actually work for the company aren't capable of doing it. It's not a question of capability or not. It's a question of willingness. Do they have the heart? Do they have the love? Do they have the passion to actually reskin maps or actually just code to put other maps into the game? Do they have the passion or not? Because we all know they can do it. Look at the maps that they put in the game. Guys, they didn't just get these out of nowhere. They didn't just pull them out the crack of their behind. They didn't do that. Okay, all right. Excuse me, I'm back, man. My wife was being very funny. She's actually being very funny. Women are amazing. If you don't have a woman, go get one. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I made it sound like it's just like a snack that you could buy off the shelf. It's not that easy. And for some of y'all, it's just not gonna happen. I'm not gonna lie. The way y'all be acting in this community, some of y'all, it's just not destined. You're gonna be single for the rest of your life. But hey, I just had to get that off my chest. Okay, so it's just a question of whether or not they're going to, guys. In all seriousness, whether or not they're going to. And I think this rank reset is a step in the right direction. But we have to see what they're gonna do, because mind you, we're still waiting on the second part of the Daima DLC, and Daima has been over for months now. Okay, we're still waiting on outfits that have been in the last game that for some reason aren't in this game. We're still waiting on those. So Sparking Zero is taking a step in the right direction, and I can't wait to see. So let's talk about it. Get in the comments, you know, and let's all be on alert and watch our favorite content creators as the rank reset drops. Let's get on Sparking Zero's Twitter, which I do not follow, and see if they actually show that they care about putting love into their game, because so far up until this point they haven't, and this rank reset is probably the biggest chokehold that they've had on the community since the drop. You know, the suspense is building, rank hasn't been able to be played, and so now we're about to see if this helps the game or destroys it completely. It's been Ambassador Plays, guys. Jesus loves you, I love you too. I appreciate you for watching the video. If you liked it, drop a like and subscribe, please. God bless. And I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.